the friendship that I've been a part of. Again, I recognize the elders, Lawrence and Felix and Jim, Frenchman, and again, all these elders from back that I recall, and especially Wilbur Sharpback. He was kind of a dig of mine. He and my uncle Wilbur Black Deer, were instrumental in keeping a lot of the songs alive, and boy, I certainly enjoyed it. It was a different spirit, the spirit of our tradition, the spirit of our veterans. So again, calling all veterans, if you will, we need your assistance up here. All veterans, we have a few more minutes, so we need to stand by. Many, if there are any of our non-native veterans or women veterans, we need your assistance. So, if you will, gentlemen, let's start collecting our flags here and get things underway. Also, make sure your flags are named, marked, so you, especially this afternoon when you come to retrieve your flags, that there's no mix-up. Again, upon retreat this afternoon, the families will be taking their flags, and we hold them dearly. We take care of them in a humble, respectful way. One does not just merely throw it in a closet, but again, among the Ho-Chungaha people, we always revere our flags, placing them in a special place in our homes. So again, veterans, let's get things underway here. Yeah, our commander is here. And again, I wish to acknowledge Randy. Of course, every year I was doing a super job in keeping things organized, and something goes wrong, you know who to blame. We do again wish to acknowledge many of the visiting veterans, some of them traveling as far as the East Coast, West Coast, to be here on this very special weekend, honoring again the return of Chief Little Priest. This is the 159th annual celebration, and Today we honor the memory, the sacrifice again of Mr. Gustive Smith. The flag being raised in front of the speaker stand, the place of honor. Again, we wish to acknowledge the family and coming forth again and bringing this flag, a World War II veteran, Mr. Gustive Smith. Again, if there are any more visiting veterans, we certainly appreciate your assistance up here. As again, we have a number of flags. I believe we have over 80 flags that we replaced. And then also, again, veterans, I'd like to ask you to stick around at 5 o'clock as we retreat our colors. For many of our veterans, this is a time that we think back to our service. Service to not only our country, but most importantly to our people, our tradition, our way of life, especially that of the Herushka, the world of dance, the world of powwow. The songs that you hear many times, again, talk about the experience of some of our warriors, our veterans, claiming again their sacrifice, the war trophies that were brought home. We look to the tradition that has evolved over the centuries and still practiced among the Ho-Changada, the Winnebago people. Ho-Changada, originally the interpretation, the literal interpretation, Ho meaning your voice, and the shortened version, Wakachung, representing and meaning holy, people of the holy voice. Over the years, it has changed to what they say, people of the big voice. Again, respect to our tradition, the sacredness of, again, the sacrifice of many of our veterans, many of our warriors. Over the last 2 centuries, our people, our ancestors, have fought to again, preserve our tradition, our respect for our way of life. Through the centuries, our medicine bundles, our war bundles still are the mainstay of many of our people, many of the clans of our people. We have 11, 12 clans among the Ho-Chungatta. We have the Sky clans, the Earth clans. The warrior, the Bear clan is perhaps the most powerful of all. That's where many of our war leaders, our war chiefs come from. And of course, Chief Little Priest was a member, a part of that. I'm going to talk a little bit about that this morning and what the true meaning of the sacrifice that he has made and what we honor here this weekend. And I want to thank each of these veterans that have been here every morning, 6 o'clock, and raising our colors. Again, each of these flags are individuals that have passed on. Their memory still carries on through the song, through the dance. Again, I also wish to acknowledge all our visitors, people that have come to assist us to be a part of this powwow, part of this celebration and the homecoming. Again, we honor the memory of Mr. Gustive Smith, the flag of honor, the family preparing a meal to, again, bless the spirit, the sacrifice of this individual, Mr. Smith, again, a World War II veteran. Among our people, our first religion was that of the feast lodge, the war bundle, the medicine bundle religion or way of life. And again, this practice still exists today, especially among the traditional people of Wisconsin, the original homeland of the Winnebago. Through a series of 8 treaties, we basically evolved to the residents that half of our people here, we are related. The Winnebago and the Ho-Chungatta people are one. We believe that we all pray to the same Creator. There is no difference. It is only in the means and the language that varies from one tribe or nation to another. For the Ho-Chungatta, we are the same. We have brothers, sisters, some families here this year that come all the way from Oklahoma. The Otos, the Iowas, the Missouri, they are related to us. They were at one time a part of our nation. They also come to celebrate, again, the homecoming, the return of Chief Little Priest. And again, the flag of honor replaced his uniform. And I think for many of the veterans, we look to the ribbons that he had earned in battle, serving our country in World War II. We place our Purple Heart veterans in high regard, especially in many of our ceremonies. Again, a distinguished veteran warrior, Mr. Gustive Smith. The governor of Nebraska has declared again Gustive Smith Day, and again commemoration to the sacrifice that he had made on behalf of the Winnebago people. He was a tank rider and back in the day. And again, if you notice the ribbons, and I encourage many of you to come forth and again honor this gentleman as I look to all the ribbons that this veteran warrior among our people has achieved. Not too many people, not too many people can claim these medals. Again, hard earned, and again for our people, for our tradition and our way of life. Again, audience, we certainly appreciate your standing in time of our flag song. As I look to the medals and the uniform, the flag again of Mr. Gustive Smith. The gentleman earned 4 Purple Hearts. That's perhaps one of the major sacrifices of our people. Very difficult to earn that medal, and again the shedding of our blood on behalf of our nation. It is recognized in our ceremonies as perhaps the highest honor of all. We talk of the return of Chief Little Priest, Hunkne Chabuda. He brought back the stories, the purpose of why we honor him. Each year, this is the 159th annual homecoming celebration. Again, there are many people that have come back here to the annual homecoming, many visitors, many of our non-native friends. And we thank you for being a part of our celebration. We look to not only the dancers, the drum, the singers, but you, the audience. You are part of our family. When someone hurts in a circle, we all share the same pain. We honor these veterans through ceremony. The return of Chief Little Priest, there were songs, grizzly bear songs, that are, again, sacred to our people. It healed him when these songs were sung. It helped him as he was mortally wounded, 2 rounds in the left shoulder and 2 rounds above his right lung. He honored the individuals that brought him back. And again, in taking of the enemy, the people here, again, honored him 1 year later, being the 159th annual celebration. This is perhaps one of the oldest celebrations in the country. And so those songs that were sung were healing songs. We consider that drum as being wakana, being holy. In healing, we say we never bring our animosity, our jealousy to this arena, because again, this is a time of healing, a time of recognition, a time of honor, and most importantly, respect. In honor of his return, there were songs that were composed in his honor. There are individuals that have perhaps one song. Little Priest has 4 songs that were composed in his honor for the sacrifice again, for he had done and brought back to our people. So we're going to ask Grey Wolf, if they will, to honor the memory of Chief Little Priest with what we call the 4 Little Priest songs. And we'd like to ask all the veterans, if you will, family members, to come on out and let us dance the healing dance, the 4, again, Little Priest songs. So if you will, veterans, we ask you to come on out. Someone retrieve our Eagle staff, and we honor, again, Chief Little Priest. Hunkne Chabuda. Again, we'd like to ask all the Winnebago people to come on out and show their pride, show their respect for our tradition, our way of life, especially that of the Herushka. Again, we'd like to invite all the visitors. One does not have to be native to be a part of this circle. You, the audience, are also most important in many times in many of our ceremonies. So let us honor again Chief Little Priest. Again, thank you, warriors, friends, relatives. Here we go to our second song. Certainly very appreciative that our members of the tribal council are here, and veterans in their own right, and assisting us in carrying our Eagle staff and being a major part of this year's celebration. So if you will, we go to our second song. Again, we'd like to invite some of our non-native friends as well to come on out and accompany us. And again, in honor of the Little Priest, Chief Little Priest. Picture. Oh, thank you. I'd like to recognize a couple of gentlemen out here. Again, Pawnee's been mentoring. I see Josh and Jeff. Appreciate their dancing. Hookah, our third song. Hitcha, hitch. Again, we're going to go to our fourth and for this year's annual celebration, the final time that you'll be hearing again Chief Little Priest, our final song. Customarily, when they get to the second half of a song, warriors would always give a war hoot. The women giving their Lulu an acknowledgement to the veteran. In this case, again, Chief Little Priest. Veterans, warriors, let's hear it. Oh, thank you. Veterans, shake hands with your neighbor, your fellow veteran, and especially to many of our women relatives that are here at and again, may you receive good blessings in return. Here's a special friend of mine that came all the way out, came here, comes annually from the East Coast. And you've noticed him dancing during a lot of our intertribals, and somebody gifted him with some aprons. Among our people as Ho-Changada people, when we see someone dancing like he does, we acknowledge him in a good way through gifts or give them something to encourage their dancing. So, again, I wanted to acknowledge Jeff in a good way that he's always coming out dancing every intertribal, and we always honor them. We give them something to encourage them to continue. Also acknowledging Pawnee and Josh for coming out and dancing in honor of our veterans and our warriors. I believe we're getting ready for our fighting squad at this time. So all this time I've always called him Pawnee, but it's Pahi, meaning sharp. Pahi. Yeah. There's also another gentleman, Tom, is a general manager out at our casino. Has been here every day, taking care of a lot of our elders, and we certainly appreciate his assistance. When one receives tobacco, you always receive it in the left hand. As Ho Chunk tradition, that is our way. Even when receiving cigarettes, we always take it with the left hand closest to the heart. It's always something that we honor and respect as a teaching among our people. When receiving tobacco, it is a request. It is not a gift, a thank you. It's a request. A request to perhaps perform something, attend a ceremony, to lead a ceremony. Tobacco is something saying that I will take care of you. I will honor you. I will be at your celebration. In return, we give them a bed to sleep on. We feed them. We take care of them in a good way. That again is the purpose of this tobacco. Indian tobacco was gifted to the Ho-Chungatta people, we say by the Creator. Many times throughout the year, many of our visiting nations or tribes would come to me, particularly many of the Sundance people come to me and asking for the Creator's tobacco. Again, this is a gift to the Ho-Chungatta people by Maona. So I give them tobacco. I do not ask for payment or anything in any way, because that maintains the power, the strength of tobacco. The opposite of spirituality is materialism, money. So when handling something, we say wakanchunk, something that is holy. It is always through gifts, it's through giving, the power of giving that keeps that strength. I know some people that sell sweetgrass, cedar, sage. When it is being sold, exchanged through materialism, through money, you lose the power of that. But once it's given, it restores the power and the essence of the purpose again of our tobacco. And again, this is a common teaching among the Ho-Chungatta people. I used to always think that everyone knew this. But again, as a special guest to the Veterans Association here, I share a lot of these teachings that I grew up with, taught to me by my grandfathers, my uncles. It is something that I have not made up. It's just a common teaching. So again, I'm certainly very appreciative of the Winnebago Veterans Association for bringing me back and sharing a lot of this knowledge. Tobacco has been given to Mr. Larry Pear, a Vietnam veteran, well-respected individual in the community here, the Winnebago people. Again, the Winnebago people and the Ho-Chungatta are the same, just like the Otos and the Iowas, the Mandan. We speak a similar language. It's basically isolation, distance, and time has varied our language from one area to another. The Nakota people in Canada speak almost identically to the Ho-Chungatta people. In my travels and living among the Nakota people, they originally came from the red banks of the Great Lakes region, in other words, among the Ho-Chungatta. But again, through treaties and basically isolation, distance, and time, the language has somewhat changed a little bit, but a lot of the words are similar. I would say you can trace origin by language. It's truly, again, a way of understanding our tradition or way of life. So at this time, I'd like to ask Larry to conduct a prayer for this meal. Among our people, we host 4 feasts, ceremonial feasts a year, each clan. They also host a feast when a veteran, a warrior, goes overseas that's going to see battle. Also, upon his return, we host these feasts. And again, feeding the spirit of the enemy. So again, it's indeed a great honor to have Larry perform our prayer for our meal. For the Ho-Chungatta people, we have a song for everything that we do. So at this time, Mr. Larry Pear.
Oh, good morning. A lot of you know who I am. My Ho-Chunk name is Mandela Jimeninga Walks on Wind. My clan is Thunderbird, and I am an honorably discharged Vietnam veteran. Along with my brother here, we both see action in a faraway place. When we came back, we were called baby killers. To this day, it's still in my memories of all the things that we've been through. But we are here in celebration of the 759th annual homecoming celebration of Chief Little Priest. And we still follow him. He's our war chief, the last war chief that we have. And all of us who raise our right hand, we follow him. And me, myself, I honor all veterans. Doesn't matter what color they are, red, yellow, black, or white. And as I look into the audience here, I look in and see many people here sitting here waiting. And I see all of our flags, all the past comrades. There's a lot of flags that I know that, and a lot of them are close relatives that are hanging on the poles and along the bleachers there. And let's turn to our Creator. Oh, we come to you on this day as we look into the 4 directions. We respect all things you have made. And as we are here, we humbly come before you, Choka. We're about to feed a breakfast. We ask you to bless this food we're about to partake. And bless the hands that have to have prepared it. And Choka. Lead and guide and direct us to be good to one another, to respect one another, and help one another as we are doing today. Oh, excuse me. Okay, I'm going to have all your veterans get in line over here. I know that Carl Baker, he's hungry, so. And followed by the drum group and our visiting relatives who are come from far and near, come and have breakfast. Aho. And the floor will be open for our veterans to get up and talk if they want to talk. I don't know if they want to talk or not. I know Randy DeCoy, he really likes to talk all day long, so. And as we look over here, this is my Digga Gustive Smith. His wife was Victoria Pear. And as I look here, I see 4 Purple Hearts and all the medals he has received. This man was a good dancer, one of the best, him and Walk-On Smith. And he used to pick up fallen feathers when it was his time to come to help out. And there were many travels that I have talked to him about things. He said one time, well, he was in the Third Army under General George Patton, one of the tank drivers. He was telling me that one time they captured a Panzer tank, one of the big ones, from the Germans. He said they examined that and they checked the motor out. The motor was made by Chrysler, USA. So what imagine we were fighting practically ourselves at that time frame, but again too, I don't know. But knowing this man here, with his teachings that I received a lot of teachings from him, a lot of traditional teachings. He was really good with things, and my brother, boy lad, I have a highly respected boy and my fellow comrades. The floor will be open for anybody who would like to get up and express themselves a little. Aho! Drum group, come eat. What do we today? Kipigire. Mandale. AP. Let's go.
Again, we wish to thank Mr. Larry Prayer for those beautiful words. And again, singers, if you will, we'd like to ask you to come on up. And we thank you again for paying honor to, again, Chief Little Priest and again, Gustive Smith. I believe that song will be coming up soon, right after our meal. We also wish to acknowledge each of the veterans and again, this being our final day, we hope that you have enjoyed yourself over the weekend and many words being expressed by our veterans. I hope. Again, we're calling all veterans, even our visitors, some of you up in the audience. If you're a veteran, we'd like to ask you to come on up and we're taking this meal, a meal that was prayed in honor and behalf of Mr. Gustive Smith. So if again, we'd like to invite all the veterans, our elders. We'd like to take care of you, our drum group as well. So again, we have a number of visitors that have come a great distance to be here, and we certainly welcome you and also ask you to come and line up, be a part of, again, our morning meal, our morning prayer as Mr. Pear has done. We wish you well and return to your home fire. Is that camera going worldwide? We are being recorded, so I have to be careful of my language. Hey. Boy, I gotta get me some runners like that. A lime green. Yeehaw. Oh, my next outfit. Yeah. Some of the elders that are sitting up there. There's a gentleman going around, Tom, who's general manager out at the casino. He's kind of taking care of elders sitting up in the audience area, and certainly want to recognize him. Where do you see in Indian country a GM of our casino feeding the people? Much respect.
Good morning, Hainepi, to each and every one of you on our final day of the 159th annual celebration of Chief Little Priest. Of all his deeds, all of his sacrifices that he made for our people. And then a lot of thank yous need to be said today on the final day. And a big thank you to Boy Lad for coming down here, helping us out through the years. As he said, back into the 50s, he was coming around here. He didn't have to do any MC duties at that time, but through the course of his life, like he always talks about, and all of us talk about, we hung around chokas, degas, all those people. And when he stands up here, he represents all those people, all that knowledge he received through the course of his lifetime. And he's willing to share those with us. And being a combat veteran, it's an honor for him to be here. It's an honor to have him here. So I want to say thank you this morning to you, Boy Lad, U.S. Army, for doing the things we asked of you in a really good way. And then you're always, and as our elder said, we're always trying to teach, always trying to have our people remember something, our young people. And that's the same way Carl Baker talks that same way. That, you know, when we talk up here, we want our people to learn, our young people to learn something. And that's the way I see it out here. Because we only get to be this way once a year. We only get to experience this blessing once a year this way. And all those, from one year to the next, things happen in our village. Sometimes we lose veterans, we lose community members, and it makes it hard for them to come out here. But when they come out here, it helps them. It helps heal them. It helps them smile again, because that's how sacred this arena is and what we do out here. And those songs, those Little Priest songs, probably the most powerful songs we have that can help us. And every morning, if you're here, you get to hear that blessing. You get to feel that blessing. Maybe it makes you feel good. Maybe you had something on your mind. But that's what happens to you. And you won't know it unless you're here. You won't experience it unless you're out here. You can talk about it, maybe watch it on YouTube, but you got to live it. And that's the way I see it out here. As somebody said one time, it's hard being Wangshik. It's hard being Indian, because there's a lot of things you got to do if you want to live that way. And if you're a Hadushka person, you're always giving something, helping people out. So I want to say that to all of our veterans that came out today, for the way you are. Say Pino to you for being out here, helping us out. It's not an easy job every morning, being out here on time, doing things on time. But we do it on behalf of our relatives. All these flags that are flying here, some of those people's flags up there now, I folded flag with. All those things you remember when you're out here. But now we put up their flag in honor. And we remember them. And there was a story told to me one time. And it was from somebody not even from here. He said, nowhere else in this United States that they do things like this, that they have blessings like this. Nowhere else. He's seen it, and he's been all over. So I wanted to make mention of that. For some of you may have heard it, not heard it, maybe for the first time. Maybe the first time you're here. You know, we want you to feel good and remember this. And then every morning, I look out there, see different people, and I want to say thank you. Some of you here every morning, witnessing what's going on. And then there's a young man. He's a dancer. I don't know his name yet, but I'm gonna try to remember his name. And I seen him last night. He's actually in the dance contest, and he was dancing in contest. Probably didn't get out of here till midnight, and then he's out here in the morning dancing again. And that's the kind of spirit. Makes me feel good to see him like that. I want good things for him, because when he dances like that, sure wish my knees would work again that way. So I wanted to say thank you this morning to him for being out here and dancing on behalf of what's going on. For some of us that can't dance like that, say thank you to you. And then this man, Gustive, I remember through the course of the years his leading in the grand entry, carrying that eagle staff and dancing hard, dancing with pride, dancing for his people when he would come in this arena. He would move around. He didn't dance in a straight line. He danced, kind of moved around from one side to the other. Kind of maybe like when he's in battle, got to move around. Don't stay in a straight line. That's how he danced. And then some of the things that also I seen him do is when there was a feather that went down, a top feather, a roach feather, one of the feathers that are on top of your head. They would clear the arena and they would sing that song. I think it was the Buchanan song. And he would do 4 push-ups. The first 3 push-ups, he would dance around that feather, taunting it, taunting it, taunting it. And then on that 4th push-up, he would pick it up. And I'm glad we don't have to do that. You know, we haven't had one of those down in a while. But that's the last guy I see kind of do it that way. Kind of man he was. And then you see up here is his uniform that he wore with the medals he earned. The family takes care of that still today. I want to say thank you to you guys, to the Smith family, Gustive Smith's family, for taking care of that for him. You don't see that too often, that they still have their uniform that they got out, that they had when they were in the service. So that's really a prideful thing for the family and all of us warriors, that we can witness that. So I wanted to say those kind of things this morning, and say thank you again, Larry, for that prayer. I always really enjoy listening to you talk. And then when you pray for us, that's very powerful. And then I remember that story you told me at one point where you were the head man dancer here in this arena at the 100th annual celebration here in Winnebago. And he told me that they came over, when he came in, They came in over there, kind of like from the south, right where that wall is. And he said the MC stand was over that way too at one time. And those are the stories that all of us possess. Each one of my veterans possess stories, maybe something that somebody said to you. And my dad's name was Eugene Decora, and he is in World War II, served with General MacArthur. But he told me when they came home, they didn't have powwow there during World War II. But when they came home, they formed a group. It was called the Leaf Shooters. And they would put branches for shade, and they would string lights out here. He was telling me that one time. So I thought I would share that with you of how much our arena has evolved to one of the most, are the best, beautiful arena in America. That's the way it is out here. So yeah, I want to say that many words. Get out here and think of my comrades that could stand up here and say way better words than I can, but I'm trying to do my best job on behalf of them. Jim Snow, Matt Cleveland Sr., a lot of names. Leroy Greencrow, John D. Decora. A lot of those people stood up right where we're standing here and said those things. So I just wanted to share it a little bit this morning. Like I said, a lot of thank yous today, our final day. Thank our sound man back there, Mr. Rave, doing a fine job. I know it's hard being a sound man this day and age. You got to be here, change the batteries, all those type of things. But I really appreciate you that you took care of us this year. Really good sound system. In the way, for some of you old powwow highway people that used to go to powwows way back then, every drum group brought their own sound system. So back in the day, there was this, I don't even know what the name of the group was at that time, but I got to sing with him. His name was Jeff Pope. And then we met up in Laura Brew, and he had a sound system. And he put that up, and I always remember that. He had a sound system. So every drum group had a sound system in here at one time. And then some of you old ones that were here between 88 and 92, sitting right over there by the senior citizens area, we had Stony Park, hottest drum group in the country at that time. And some of you can witness that there were so many people here. The cars were parked past Matt Cleveland's house, and they were parked all the way down by the bridge. That's how many people were here during the 88 to 92. And I can't remember what year it was when we had them here. And then some of you also remember when we had Willard Scott here, actual live national TV right here. They were doing a live today right here in Winnebago, Nebraska. That's how memories we have of this arena, how many memories we can talk about, and that helps us. That's that medicine they talk about, because as you heard different ones stand up here, when you leave here tonight, you can run into that world out there, that world that isn't kind sometimes. It's all about, as they say, be good to one another, because you're not going to hear some of those good words that you hear the past 4 days out here in the morning. So all of you people, say thank you to you that came over here. As I look around, I hope you get a good blessing today. I hope you feel good today, that your heart and your mind and your spirit can soar today. And when you go home, everything is the same way as when you left it. That's what I like for you, want for you. So I wanted to say about that many things. Larry's going like this to me, trying to cut me off already, and I'm trying to talk as long as Larry, but I wanted to say about that many words. All right, I just been informed. If you're just now waking up, wiping out the stokiris, there's a lot of food down here. So go ahead and bring some bowls down, or maybe come get a plate, take it home. And we used to say that don't waste this food. Don't throw it in the trash because it's been prayed for. And at one time, food was real hard to come by. Our people was pitiful. So if you think like that when you get this food, you're going to be okay. Try to remember those things, because I see a lot of food sometimes thrown away. And I was like, man, at least, share it somehow. Take it home and maybe help somebody out. So once again, want to say thank you to Grey Wolf. A lot of thank yous. Good job, boys. Proud of you guys. Keep going. It's going to always get better and better. I know that. And then thank you to the Powwow Committee for putting on a great powwow, great celebration, I should say. Homecoming. That's what it is for a lot of us, called homecoming, because we get to meet our relatives again. But anyway, I want to say about that many words this morning to you. Felt compelled to get up and say something. And then I won't say nothing about the firing squad. Oh, thank you.
All right. There's been some cigarettes that's been placed at the pole of honor, again in honor of Mr. Gustive Smith. A tradition among the Ho-Chungatta people, we placed our flags up. The family would put some tobacco. As I said, that tobacco is a gift given to the Ho-Chungatta people. And we ask in a kind way that people that come up and acknowledge the sacrifice of Mr. Smith, that they take a cigarette, they smoke a cigarette in his honor. And for some of you that don't smoke, you can put it in a fire, place it in a fire, and again, honoring the spirit of Mr. Smith, Gustive Smith. So anytime you want to come by and look at his jacket, his medals, and again recognizing what he has sacrificed for our people. So again, they're more than welcome to come on. You can take some of these cigarettes home with you, use it in time of prayer. There's still a lot of food up here, so visitors, friends, some up in the camp area, we invite you to come on down. We still have a lot of food. I see one of my nephews here, my chunshkes, Eddie, Fast Eddie over here. Eddie Luray, a gentleman, MMA fighter. And certainly good to see him dancing, and gentleman, a chunshke that I recognize in a special way. His talent as a MMA fighter. He made front page down in Albuquerque, down my hometown, fighting in one of our tournaments. So again, placing some tobacco at the base of the pole. This is a tradition among the Ho-Chungatta people. Yeah, we call him Fast Eddie, yeah. So again, some of you, again, we invite you to come up and take a cigarette, smoke a cigarette in his honor. This is, again, our tradition among our people. To be a warrior, to be a veteran, we say manape, wankwashoshe. That has a special meaning to our people. We say in part it means to give, to give. When receiving something to perform a ceremony, a warrior many times is gifted with blankets, given a sincere thank you. For the Ho-Chungatta men, we always were told to give. We give that to our women relatives. We're told that when we are overseas in battle, that our women would take care of our pail. They would feed the spirit of protection to bring us home. Protection is something that exists within our medicine bundles, our war bundles. And I know personally that I would say 99 out of 100 warriors, when they went off to battle, would return. Veterans, warriors, combat warriors would talk to our young men before they go overseas. I've enjoyed that honor throughout my lifetime since Vietnam. I had to do that ceremony just recently, speaking to a young man as he's preparing to go to the Middle East, in hopes that his safe journey, safe time, that he would come home, bring back honors to our people. So that power of giving gives strength and blessing to our warriors. I know, one year I had a successful year dancing at Crow Fair. I went to Crow. I have a lot of relatives over there. And my van, I had an old Indian van, and I started receiving a lot of blankets and star quills. Pretty soon my van was filled to the roof. Every giveaway, I was always receiving something and taking first place as well. I did not feel good come Tuesday morning looking at all those blankets, at that money. Because as Powwow people, we always share our winnings. It's kind of frowned upon to take that money. Take all that money. We try to share with the drums. We share with other dancers. That morning I drove around the camp. I was looking for all the elderly ladies, the grandmothers, people, some that I didn't even know. I would pull up in front and open the side, take a blanket. Some of the ladies would say, "Hey, I love this star quilt, but I like that Pendleton." Take them both. Take them. How much? I said, "No, take them. It is an honor." It took me about 3 hours to unload. I had probably about 120 blankets. And the guys that I recognize that go from powwow to powwow that never win, but they always manage to go to the next powwow. I'd go over and slip them maybe $100, $50. I ended up coming back to my camp. I had $100 left out of all of that money to carry me on to the next celebration. I had one Kmart blanket left. I never felt so good. That power of giving. For many of us as warriors, as powwow men, Hidushka people, there are different sites around North America. There are different sites that are considered wakanchunk, holy. We always carry tobacco with us. We would pour tobacco to that site. There are numerous sites, and especially we call the High Line, Highway 2. I stopped there periodically and pour tobacco. Sometime I was gifted with a blanket. I would take that blanket and put it over that buffalo or that rock. My buddies would say, "Aren't you worried somebody's going to take it?" No, that's the purpose of that giving. Sometimes they would say, when you go down the road, take a little bit of food, meat, fruit, tobacco, and water, and place it out in the wood on the road to protect your journey. When we pray over a meal, there's always a little piece, a little morsel of something, plus water and tobacco, and we always position at the base of our flag or put that ghost meal, put that out before we eat. That is a custom. That is a right enjoyed by our people, a teaching. Always share, always give. And again, for those that do not win every weekend, I praise them. I praise them. Because again, they'll always come to the next celebration. We give, one year I was traveling with Porcupine back in 1979. I had a good year. I traveled, we went to Pier, we went to Arlie, up to Nispelem, and finally to Browning. We had a good year, dancing, singing. We got to Browning, took first place. It was kind of nice compliment. First time I'd ever been there. And Porcupine was called upon for every honor song. And I assumed that, they were going to take the championship. I befriended one of my adopted fathers, Mr. Pat Kennedy, probably one of the biggest legends in the singing world. After I took that money, I gave him $50, and there was stick games going on. He was kind of explaining I had an interest in learning what that was about. Eventually, one of my little brothers, George Squircoat, came to me. Hey, brother, they're meeting at the camp. Yeah, what's the matter? Porcupine didn't win. They didn't come in. I went over to the camp, and everybody is sitting there, Jim and Sievert, Francis, George, everybody, the whole crew, the original crew, were sitting there, trying to figure out how they were going to go get home. I said, no, that can't be. I took my whole winnings, my whole envelope, and said, here, is this enough to get home? And they said, yes. To this day, they still carry that story to teach our young men, people that are new to the circle, the power of giving, the blessings that you receive in return. The family of Gustive Smith have provided this meal for us. And again, that's part of that giving and sharing. That giving, and we say when you eat, you give good blessings in return to the family, to all the cooks, all those that were a part of this. We have a song that's always being sung in return, a thank you song. A thank you song to our cooks, our servers, and especially to all the mothers, the grandmothers that are here. And we're going to call upon Grey Wolf for what we call the thank you song. There's a long-held tradition among our people to give back. And so we wish, in behalf of all the veterans, the Winnebago Nation, all the Heidushka people, many of those that partake in this meal, we give them good blessings in return. So I believe we're just about ready to honor our cooks and the family again, the women relatives of Mr. Gustive Smith, to give them good blessings in return, thank them for this meal. So ladies, if you will, we'd like to ask you to come on up. And all the mothers and grandmothers out there, we'd like to ask you to stand. You have given us life, provided for us, and in return, we honor you through this thank you song. So, Grey Wolf, if you will, again, ladies, women relatives, we'll ask you to stand as we honor you with this thank you song. Pinigigi. Again, we want to thank all the women, all the ladies, the cooks, and the servers here for providing this food. In return, we wish you good blessings and honor again of your father, your uncle, your Dega, your Choko, in a good way. And all the ladies that are out there, we thank you for giving us life. Again, women play a very special role in our traditional way of life. They take care of us as we journey overseas many times. So again, pinigigi, wine ginapshin. I believe they still have some food up there, so if you will, some of you, we invite you to come on down. And again, pinigigi. Again, here's some tobacco. Cigarettes have been placed up here, and for some of you that don't smoke, you can take it home with you. Pray with it. Put it in a fire. You know, to our Ho-Changada people, you know, fire is one of the basic elements in our way of life. We go to our traditional ceremonies, our fires are made by Bo, the original teaching. They say there are different types of fires. For the fires that are utilized in time of ceremony, we start it with a bowl. Usually the warriors are the ones that come forth to start that fire. I recall my grandfathers back in the early 1950s. They would take some of the coals from that feast, from that medicine dance, the Madewin. They would take those coals home with them, and they kept that fire all winter long, maintaining again that wakanchunk, that holiness, that sacredness and protection of their home. That again is a long time tradition among our people. We do not light our fires for our ceremonies with a lighter, a torch, or a flint. Everything's always done by a bow. In that same sense, again, all our lodges, for some of our non-native friends, people that are new to this circle, all our lodges always face the east. The door always faces the east. We welcome the sun, the creator, every morning. The same in the world of Hedushka. Our dancers always enter from the east. They dance around this arena. Customarily among the Ho-Changada, among the Lakota people, the men dance the opposite direction, especially to the warriors. We look at some of the younger generation. I recognize some of these young men that come out dancing perhaps for the first time. Some may not wear roach feathers because they don't have that right. Their uncles may bestow one feather on them. It was said that long ago that warriors that went into battle could carry 2 feathers. You look at the younger generation today wearing 2 feathers, not knowing what that means. Being adopted into the Kiowa Nation I have 3 families, recognizing their way of how they wear what they call rockers. Adapting their way, I came home for the first time wearing these rockers. I kind of felt proud, honored, as I came out into the arena. My uncles came down to me and they bent my head over and they pulled those feathers out. Don't you ever, ever wear those rockers again. Those do not belong to our people. When you wear those feathers, those rockers in the opposite direction, you're asking for negativeness. Asking for something bad to happen in your family. From that day on, I have never worn a rocker again. Ho-Chunk tradition, we always wear what we call these spinners. As spinners, that is a long-held tradition. But again, money, time, competition has changed a lot of that. Again, there's still a lot of tradition that still exists among the Hochangara, the Winnebago. And these teachings, I'm very honored to be able to offer that to you. And for you to think about it, food for thought. Take that home to your children, your grandchildren. Among the Regachis, the Ojibwe people, back in the 1800s, there was a time of sickness, famine, bad weather. People were dying in great numbers. There was an elderly lady that went out and saw a vision. This happened up in the northeastern part of Minnesota, northern Wisconsin, land of the Ojibwe. In this vision, she was instructed to how to make this dress we call the jingle dress. The cones, a metal, to many of those that are traditional believers, follow the traditional way of life. You see metal, mirrors, things that are considered sharp, a way to ward off negative spirits. You see some of our women relatives wearing this sheath, partially with that blade, partially showing, as again a way to ward off the negatives in life. Songs were composed honoring this medicine dance. The Madewan, the medicine lodge, originated among the Ojibwe, the Potawatomi, the Menominee. The Hochangara adopted it through marriage as a way of life back in the late 1800s. But again, we recognize the Ojibwe medicine dance. Back in about 1974, I remember the White Sisters as they traveled the High Line. They came to Fort Peck oil celebration. And people kind of laughed at them. They kind of chuckled when they saw this dress, when they saw them dancing the way they danced. And I got after them. Hey, this is a medicine dance. It's a powerful dance. You should not mock that. Eventually, it took hold and become a big part of Powwow today. The songs have varied and have changed in part. There's the traditional version, there's the contemporary version. Back in about 1988, there was a young lady from Fort Peck. She came down to Red Earth. She used to be a champion shawl dancer. She came out the first time utilizing her fancy shawl footwork, adapted it into the jingle dress, adapted it in a way that, again, influenced dance. What you see today, a majority of a lot of the jingle dress dancers using that contemporary footwork, but there's a basic shuffling movement. I've yet today see many of the original, I think the elders that are here can recall the basic step of the Ojibwe dance. In traditional dance, men's traditional style, the Dakota people were perhaps the biggest influence on traditional dance. The tail bustles, the tail feathers that they wear are a reflection of our warrior societies. That practice still exists among the Mandan, the Hidatsa, the Crow, the Dakota people. You go up into Canada, the tail feathers still, society still exists. The ceremonies, songs are being sung to honor, again, our warriors, our veterans. In about 1974, 75, there was a young man from the Nakota Nation. He was a champion fancy dancer, got into a car accident. He lost the use of one eye. He broke his back. But again, when we look at this circle, a place of healing, he came back and he came to me, asked me in a nice way, said, "Brother, I want to continue to dance. I don't have the speed anymore, but I want to dance." He came out as a traditional dancer, just like that young lady in the jingle dress. He came out and adapted a lot of the fancy dance moves. And you see that today in dance. You see the contemporary versus the traditional style of dance. That young man, Mr. Tim Ijapi, a champion, a legend, but again, adapting from the fancy to the traditional. From the White Sisters, again, this young lady, Claudia Adams, carrying it from the fancy shawl to the jingle. Each particular style of dance has changed, evolved over the years to what we see today. Again, I share a lot of these teachings. I talk in a respectful way to these individuals. When I MC powwows, I like to talk about the old days, talk about these legends that were a part of the circle. When I think of Winnebago, as I said over the years, I recall a man that I idolized used to sit up in that chair up there. It's still there. Walk-On Smith. As a young boy, I used to sit and hide behind those bushes just to watch him dress, put on his bustles, and he'd come down. He'd always sit over here. And when he danced, oh, he had me in awe. Among the Winnebago, the Ho-Chunga people of Wisconsin, we had a man back in the early 1950s, Mr. Russell Decora, Rusty Decora, was again one of my idols, one of my mentors, just like Walk-On. What they could do in this arena, not too many people can. They had a spirit of their own. You do not see that anymore because money become a big part of powwow. The spirit has evolved. It has changed. So I hope that, again, some of these teachings, I'll share a few more with you. But at this time, we want to acknowledge the family of Gustive Smith with an honor song. So if you will, family members, we'd like to ask you to come on up.
Okay. Before we sing here, drum group knows his song. And as I look at Dega's flag here, I think of all the things of what this man has just got through talking about. My good friend, boy lad, comrade, Vietnam veteran. And I look back over here to the family. My close relatives. But we're all close relatives in this circle. So this time I'm going to ask, go ahead. Come on up, ladies. We're going to do a song. Do the Gustive Smith song. Come on. You cooks, come help us out. Uh-huh. Okay. Oh.
Again, we'd like to ask relatives, friends, perhaps that knew Mr. Gustive Smith, and we ask you to come out and let's honor him in the Ho-Chunk, the Winnebago tradition way. And again, a World War II veteran, a man that received the Purple Heart 4 times. You hardly see that in Indian country today. So inviting all the veterans, family members, friends, Winnebago people, we invite you to come on out. Let us honor this special man, this warrior, a veteran among our people. Pinigigi. Even you, the audience, if you wish to come down, we certainly do encourage you. Come down and honor, again, the memory of Mr. Gustive Smith. Again, come forward and shake the hands of the family. And again, thank them for their choka, their dega, for the honor. And again, we have some cigarettes in his honor. Take some home with you. Or perhaps you may pour some. You want to speak one? Take some of these cigarettes you may smoke, or put some tobacco down at the base of the pole. This is again Ho-Chunk tradition. Yahoo. Again, we thank you for shaking the hands of the family and thanking them for the sacrifice they've made. Again, we encourage you to take some of these cigarettes home with you and may give it to one of your Degas chocos at home and pray. Get our rifle squad ready now, so.
Once again, like I say, thank you to each and every one of you for helping us out here today. And I believe there's still some stuff, food items over here. Come over and get it. Take it home with you. There's a blessing that goes with that, like my brother was talking about here. And once again, I'd like to thank the drum group. Oh, church guys, all my nephews and all that, they're singing on it. They sound really good. Oh, say thank you very much. Everyone, thank you. Oh, Pino, we know.
Again, thank you, Larry. And the mic is open to any of the veterans, elders that wish to come forth and express themselves, and perhaps in behalf of the Winnebago people or the world of Haderska. We certainly appreciate each and every one of you, especially our audience, for being a part of this year's celebration. Again, we are all family. We are all family, and honor many of our warriors, many of our veterans. Lena, if you're here. Lena, where are you? Oh, here she comes. A very special friend of mine from the Arapaho, the Cheyenne people of Oklahoma. She comes up annually, comes up and assists us with the veterans' doings and raising of our colors. And she was an Army officer and has a lot of good words many times to share to our people. And I always ask her in a nice way to express herself, especially to many of our women relatives. I'd like to introduce at this time Miss Lena. Okay.
Haho. Hithati naku sage. Niake. Good morning. Dos nie he hisse na as no. Bahi ne sonon behin. Nanan and nish jabet hanton. Hanete seoto patana. Ho, nina esetani. Gisi sinaqua. Yat linanelzen shah nathanen stergo ishihe pashishin shiche nathanadat shinala pitane. What and sta. Thank you again for this honor and privilege to speak before you and our people and our elders and our veterans. It is an honor to be here, to be a part of this flag raising and lowering every year that I get to come up. Something I wanted to mention is that my twin and I, we used to wake up real early. My dad used to wake us up before the sun came up, and he'd take us on runs. And this was all 12 years and younger that he would do this. And in thinking about it in my adult life, it was before he had to go to PT. So when you check into PT, your information and everything's going at 6:30. So I could just imagine my dad. He was enlisted, NCO, went through OCS, got out as a captain. So in my adult life, I could just hear him telling his soldiers, I already got up and ran with my kids. My kids already got up and ran today. So there's no excuse for you guys to be even late here. I was a 12-year-old freshman in high school, and he gave me the choice as to whether or not I wanted to run anymore, and I didn't. I didn't run anymore for 12 years until I enlisted when I was 24. That was a hard first couple of miles I did after 12 years of not running, but my body got back into it. It was about that time when I went through my Kirananda Navajo womanhood ceremony. And every morning before that sun came up, and then at high noon, you would run to the east for all of those 4 days. And every run, you would run further and further than the last. We were in Wyoming, and we were at Sundance, and we were getting all that happened. So they took me down to Arizona. My dad had to go to work, so he wasn't there. But my mom and all of his family helped take care of that ceremony for me. But I've been referencing this run here lately in these past handful of years. And on my last run, my dad told me, run as far as you can go. And so I did. And when you're running, there's men and boys, people that will run behind you, and they holler the whole way. There was a point in that run where I could start to hear them talking. When's she gonna stop? When's she gonna turn around? And people start falling out, and they had to stay put wherever they were. They were not allowed to move until I came back to pick them up. Soon enough, I didn't hear anybody. I felt like I found myself alone. The thing that stopped me from running forward was when that blue light, in the military they call it stand to time, and it's the coldest in the morning at that time. It's right before that sun comes up, that's real dark blue. All of a sudden, this giant silhouette of a mountain appeared in front of me. And that's where I made my turnaround, because that road I was running on split left to right. So I made my turnaround there. Here there was nobody following me. And I just kept running, and I felt alone. There were 4 lights way in the distance. We're way out at Mini Farms, Arizona. 20, 30 years ago, it was a long time ago. There wasn't a whole lot of electricity or running water, even to this day. So I'm just running in the direction that I came. There were times where the road would fork off, and I didn't know which way I had come from. But those lights, they kept me going in a direction, and I had to pick one, and I had to run towards it. And then I could hear hollering, maybe over here. Then I'd switch direction, and I'd head toward this light here. Sometimes I wasn't even running on a road, running through brush or grass, and I was feeling lost. That whole ceremony is supposed to tell you how your life is going to be, what kind of woman you're going to be. But my dad told me, don't look back. Keep going forward. So I could never turn around to see, and I couldn't talk to anybody behind me either. I had to stay faithful with where I was going, the direction I had picked, the light I wanted to follow. Soon enough, I start picking up people one by one, and I knew I was on the right path to take me home. It was years later that I was telling this story, And it was my twin brother that told me, "Hey, Lena, you weren't alone. I was right behind you. I was right with you the whole time." And you know, him and I used to run all that time, and we were just in sync. Even our breathing was probably just in sync, and I just didn't hear him. So when they talk about the military and your battle buddies and that you're never going to be alone, sometimes you feel alone, but truly you're not. Even with our ways, our ancestors, our medicines, our ceremonies, you're never alone. We always have those watching out for us, guiding and protecting us. When I made it back and I made it to the Hogan, they were telling my mom, they kept asking my mom, "Where is she? Where is she?" It was a long time I was running. She said, "They're runners. They're running. Don't worry. She's running." So when I came flying into that Hogan, when I got done, man, all them singers, they were kind of taken back. And them women, they knew, because, man, I had just pounds of necklaces and jewelry on, and, man, that just pounded on my chest during my run. Well, they knew I had lost the necklace out there. Me and my family, we had to go back on my trail and go look for it, and we had to find every piece. And it kind of reminds me of the things that I go through in life, and sometimes we feel like everything's being taken from us. All that was left for me to give was my life, and I'm unwilling to give that up because I want to be here. I love to live. This place brings me to life, and I'm joyful and I'm thankful for this place, for this honor, for your tribe, for our people. It's true joy, true happiness. My family had to go out and go help me look, because that was a long run I did. And when I'm looking at the area, there's big old culverts, big old ditches. There's a lot of places I could have just fell into the earth. Probably really got hurt. But I was always being watched after the way I believe. It was always being taken care of and protected. And boy, if my dad was there, boy, he'd have been hollering at me throughout my whole life, right behind me on my heels. And so that's all right, you know, and I'm thankful that he trained me that way. But we found that necklace, and we found every piece. And that's kind of where I am today. I'm real thankful for all the gifts. Truly. They're helping restore what was lost along the way. This circle is giving me my life back, even my belongings, the things that maybe are lost or withheld. Every day here, just the blessings is here. And I am thankful, and I'm very grateful, so I appreciate you guys. But I wanted to share that much with you because it's okay to feel these things sometimes, but to know that help is there, that your road is in front of you, to keep traveling your road, that there's others along your path waiting for you, that are hollering for you, guiding your way. Those lights are there, and it's up for you to choose your path. And whatever you choose in life, you're supported. You have community, you have tribes. But I wanted to share that much with you in regards to what's being said this morning too. So every gift means the world to me, and I am very thankful and appreciative. Thank you for all of your service. Thank you for the drum group. Thank you for the MCs, our announcers, all of our elders, the families, the cooks, our help back there. All of you make this special. All the flags, the families, everyone that we've encountered. Continue that throughout the year, not just, during this time, but carry on those feelings. So again, thank you for this time, and I'm very appreciative, and ha-ho.
How about a round of applause again for Miss Lena Nels and giving encouragement to our people sometime before the day is end. I do say to many of the Ho-Chunk, the Winnebago people should shake her hand, and she comes back again annually each year. This day was set aside by the governor of Nebraska. There was a proclamation that was made to the family, recognizing in the sacrifice of Mr. Gustive Smith. Machiskaga, White Cloud, was born on the Winnebago Indian Reservation October 19th, 1923, to George W. Smith and Maggie Hannah Smith. Smith entered the Army in 1943, was a technician, 5th grade, in Company 1, 40th Tank Battalion. Most notably, he was a tank driver for General George S. Patton, Jr., 7th Army Division, 2nd Army. Smith participated in the Normandy invasion on June 6, 1944, and saw combat in France, Belgium, Holland, and Germany. He was wounded 4 times in the Battle of the Bulge, the last attempt by Hitler to push the Allied forces back to the ocean. Smith was awarded 4 Purple Hearts, 4 Soldier Medals, 4 Bronze Stars, 4 campaign ribbons for his actions during World War II. Smith was the last traditional chief of the Decorah line, which dates back to 1730, and was a descendant of the Winnebago chief, Little Priest. Smith was a member of the Winnebago Indian Thunder Clan, a Reformed church, and veterans of foreign wars. Smith worked as a heavy equipment operator for the railroad and the Bureau of Indian Affairs, and was active in the Native American rodeos and danced at the Winnebago annual homecoming celebration. Again, in behalf of the governor, he presented this to the family and to the Winnebago Nation. This plaque is going to be placed up here again in a place of honor. And again, we have some cigarettes up here. If you ask in a kind way, you may wish to smoke it and thank again Mr. Gustive Smith in a good way. Take some of these cigarettes home with you. You may share with individuals, your chokas, your degas, what have you. And think of the sacrifice that this gentleman has made in behalf of our people. So again, at this time, we're going to kind of open the mic up a little bit. So if there are any other individuals, we certainly appreciate and welcome you to come on up and speak in perhaps one of the flags here, one of your degas or chokas. Also, I might ask in a kind way if you can kind of clean up around your area. So in bottles and trash here, we have some receptacles, and I believe there are some trash bags up here that have been given. If we could certainly appreciate your help, especially some of the chonshkas, gungas. Yeah, we need your assistance at this time. So we'd like to clean up this area in preparation for our grand entry. So at this time, the mic is open, and we certainly encourage anyone that wishes to come up and express themselves in their own way. So again, the mic is open.
Oh. I was just talking to this young lady, Lena. She's a military person. I was telling her that time when 911 came. My youngest one, Sandy, a lot of you probably know her. She was in the military. I cried that day because I knew that we not walking her home. But I pulled my drum out. I sang a flag song every day for about a month and a half. She took 2 tours over there in Afghanistan and Iraq. And we see that in her eyes that she's been off to war. There's a lot of our veterans, we look at each other and we know. For those of you who are here to witness things, I encourage our younger generation, if you have nothing else to do, join the military. Other than your primary reason, you'll get to travel a lot. I'd like to say thank you to each and every one of you for being here today. Oh, Pino, we know.
Again, if there is anyone else that wishes to come up and express themselves in their own way, we certainly would appreciate it. The Winnebago Nation, the Powwow Committee, again wishes to acknowledge all the veterans that came out and helped us throughout the 4-day celebration, and we do need your assistance again at $1,700, 5 o'clock. For those Marines out there, that little hand is on a 5 and that big hand is on a 12, so hey. There's a lot of teasing between the various branches, and you know, Ho-Chunk people, we like to tease, we like to laugh, you know, and we always consider laughter as good medicine. So there's a lot of teasing in the Ho-Chunk way. Yesterday I was talking about the Snake family, the Snake clan. The Snake clan had the responsibility of providing laughter to many of our ceremonies, even in this circle. That responsibility, as I said before, creating laughter is good medicine for our people. I recall back in about 1964 when Reuben Snake and a couple of his brothers dressed clown uniform, much like what we call heyokas among the Lakota people. They came out and danced. They came out and danced, and people laughed and enjoyed the humor. But again, that was the responsibility of the Snake family. And Reuben took it upon himself to carry on that tradition of the clan. He was one of the big leaders among the Native American church, but he also recognized the tradition, the old ways. We enjoyed several conversations talking about old ways, and shortly before his death, I came to Omaha to see my in-laws. And Bob took me up. He said, "Reuben is looking for you, wants to see you." So I went to his home here in Winnebago, and Kathy opened the door, and she said, "Oh, wait, you know." And they put a chair in the middle of the living room, and right away in Ho-Chunk tradition, Ho-Chunk way, that means they're going to make a request. So I waited a minute or so, and then I walked in and sat down. As I'm again among the Madawan, the Ho-Chunk of the people, he placed his hand on my head. Each time he made a circle 4 times. And then he presented a blanket and some dane. He made a request that time comes that he wanted me to take care of him. He had gone to 3 different doctors, 4 different doctors, the VA, and he had cancer. And all saying the same, that he had limited time. So I honored that request. At the time I was working for the National Assembly in Canada, and I got a call from Kathy, and I stopped and canceled all of my meetings and drove all night to get here. And the request that he had made was among the Ho-Chunk people. 2 warriors are called on a 4th night. One warrior would talk about pre-war, and the second warrior would talk about his experience in combat, what he had witnessed overseas. And when that gentleman talks, that warrior talks, he tells the most powerful stories he can recall. That assures that that person that has passed on, that they will be blessed, they will be guided in the hereafter. So that was request by Reuben, that he said that he requested me to speak and tell a war story, the strongest war story that I had, to bless his journey to the other side. I had many of the local people that came and thanked me for blessing that special man, a leader, not only here among the Winnebago people, but nationally recognized. And he always had that particular humor about him. That again was the responsibility of the Snake Clan. There are 12 clans among the Ho-Chungaha people that we practice their responsibilities. Every clan has a certain responsibility in all our ceremonies, be it social, be it ceremonial, be it part of the circle. They have that responsibility. The chief clans, the sky clans, are the peace chiefs. The peace chiefs, the warrior clans, the bear clan in particular, are the warriors. They are the leaders going into battle, going into our hunts. They police many of our functions. That is, again, the responsibility. Each clan, like I said, based on nature itself, has that certain responsibility. One never waits to be asked to be told what to do, because your bloodline, you know your responsibility. And again, that part of that giving that I was talking about, that you receive, like I say, in giving, receive good blessings tenfold, as often being told. That is something, a long held tradition, has held through the centuries, and is still very much alive. And again, I want to thank the Winnebago Nation, the Council, the veterans, the Powwow Committee for indeed a great honor in coming back again this year. I've been suffering with sciatica over the last 2.5 years since this thing called COVID came. And I'm having difficulty, and I search a blessing from the circle, and what I give to it, I wish to return, continue dancing. I have been absent many times back home because, again, I still personally feel I have many more mountains to climb. I have many more goals and responsibilities to the veterans, to my people. So again, I want to thank you for the words, and I hope that you have perhaps learned something from maybe one of the speakers or something that I have said, and take that home. Share it with your children. Share it with the people that, again, that we shall see each other again next year. Again, there's tobacco placed here, and we hope that it all goes, it'll be here through the day, and maybe the Helushka people will take part of that cigarette, one of these cigarettes, in their own way. So again, I want to say, Pinagigi, Wain Ginapshin, Wanje, indeed a great honor, I hope.
I'm teasing now, Mr. Boy Lad here. I remember back in the day, he used to do all them bird calls. So I'm teasing him, you better get up there and do a couple of those here sometime during this end of the celebration here. He used to do a horse one too, a couple of them. Some other calls he makes too, so I thought I'd let everyone know that. So if you want him to do that, you could do that. Okate. Okate.
One of our esteemed elders, kind of called upon him. He's always listening and very respectful man among our people. And
I want to thank you, boy, lad, for calling on me. Give me this honor, this privilege to say a few words. I was planning on doing that anyway. And the reason I was going to try to say something was in honor of Gustive. And he was married to my, his wife. I was a little Dega. And so all his family here, they're like my grandchildren. And and also on these women folks, I've often thought about my life, not when I was young, but seemed like only ones that I was around. I mean, were around me was my mom, my aunts, grandmas, and I never known to be hungry or cold when I was young. And my mom, I heard somebody told me she worked at Fort McCoy in Wisconsin, and then also I had Degas, Reuben Snake Sr. and Uncle Homer, Snake. But I remember my aunt, Ann Winishik, and being around her, if I wasn't behaving right, all she had to do was look at me. She kind of had that look and kind of make you straighten up or act right. And I was told that the Winnishiks are like a royal people, like I guess they're kind of using that this English language. That's all I know is, and it's not like the white people are not kings and all that. We don't refer to it that way. But everything I've been hearing and witnessing, I want to thank Boy Lad that I keep learning things. And I probably heard some of those words throughout my life, you know, but when you get older, you become aware. Things become aware. You kind of wake up and see things differently, experience things differently. And kind of, I don't know how to say it, but kind of like mysterious things and that. And they really don't alarm me. I just figure that everybody's that way. And myself, I didn't. I always seem to be associated with snakes. I mean, because my mother was a snake. And so one of the things I heard somebody taught me that the first line of defense when this Winnebago's with a snake clan out there, so I could kind of picture them, think about them being out there and watching the borders or being out there and probably getting their clothes kind of torn and all that, and coming back to a camp every once in a while. So I just want to say a little bit like that, thank you for your attention.
kind of to conclude this morning's portion of the veteran ceremonies, I've asked one of our councilmen to express himself.
I'm not a councilman. I want to say good morning, and I want to say thank you to Boy for asking me to say a few words on behalf of our flag raising here this morning. And I sure appreciate all that he's doing and saying here last 4 days. It's really good. It's good for my people. It's good for our people here, for you to be here. Honor and blessing who you are. You mean something to us. And try to go along with everything that's taking place, things that are being said. I'm really enjoying it. And brought to mind Dega of mine, Edward Logan, Kuna Logan. And one morning, he sent word that he wanted to speak to me and my brother Charles Noble. And he wanted us at his house, so we made our way over there and went in. And Dega, he's sitting there in that little old house down there by the center, and he said, "Sit down, boys." And he was looking at us. He said, he goes, "I'm not going to be around here too much longer," he said. So I want to talk to you, and I want to share something with you, and something I've been carrying with me, he said, all my life. And I'm going to worry about my people. I'm going to worry about my relatives. And he said, long ago, he said, in the center of our village there, he said there was a lodge there. In this lodge, it faced the east. And within this lodge, he said, was our chief. And he sat there and he faced the east. And was his responsibility to make his prayer and hold this thought and feeling on behalf of our people. What Boy Ladd was talking about. And but he said, that's not the one that I'm worried about, he said. Outside of that lodge, directly across from that lodge, he said, there was another lodge. And that lodge, he said, faced the west. And within this lodge, he said, was a warrior's lodge, he said. And within that lodge, he said, there was a fireplace. And all the way around within that lodge there was things, he said, sacred things, war clubs, bows. He was kind of going on like that. All these things that protected our way of life. And he said, he said, the old warriors, they would gather. There never was a seat. The seat never was empty within that lodge, he said. Them warriors would sit there. He said, many of them, they brought all that they had, all the medicine they had. They had their own bundles, he said. They would sit there and they would set them down there by this fire. They would open them and they would make their prayers and make use of the gifts that they obtained in their lifetime on behalf of our people. And then he said, by the time that this sun was going to set, he said, they would make a call, he said. They would make a call and around the village. And they would ask one of these old warriors to go and come in and sit at the head of this fireplace. And he was saying that there would be these young men, he said, they would bring them by this fireplace. They would come by this, in this lodge. And they would make their way around, he said, and they would go out all the way around the village, out on the hilltops. And for that night, he said, for that night they would they would watch over our village. That nothing would enter our village that wasn't good for us. They would look out for us and take care of us, while the rest of the village they rested in comfort. There was these young warriors that would camp out all the way around. And he said then throughout the night they would fill this lodge, all these old warriors. And they would sit there and they would all open their bundles, place their war clubs, shields, bows and arrows out there in front of them. He said many of them, they would even make use throughout the night. They would go all the way around. They would go all the way around in that lodge. They would call upon one another. And they had songs, and they had words and prayers what was given to them, that they obtained blessings by spirits here upon the creation, he said. And they would make use of that throughout the night till the morning time came, thinking about all them young warriors that were out there on the hilltops looking out for our people, that for that night that everything would be well for our people. And Dega, he said, this is what's on my mind. He said, this is what he said, this is what I'm thinking about my people, he said. That warrior lodge would never be empty. That there would be someone there by that fireplace making this prayer, that there would be our warriors, our young warriors out there looking over our people, making that sacrifice. He said, I'm worried about this. And he said, like I was saying, Trishke, I ain't going to be here forever. I'm going to worry about these things. I want prayers said, and I want things done on behalf of our people here in this village. I want things taken care of for them. And my relatives too, he said. And, so I'm really grateful here today that we're that kind of people. I'm really grateful. I'm grateful to Boy Lad for being here, carrying on with them words. The words are really sacred, the things that he's mentioning. And I just thought I would mention that. I don't know anything except what my elders said to me. I don't have anything else, to offer, to say. But that really was a eye-opening for me, for our people. So I would encourage it, give it to you today. What my Dega said. Them kind of things we don't share all the time. We don't share that with anybody. We hold that, our own medicine, our own gift. But Boy Lad was talking about sharing those things. So I share that with you here this morning, on behalf of this flag here, the family, and behalf of our people here this time. And I really feel good today like that. And it's Gustive. I think today is the day. I'm not sure entirely if it's the day today, but Gustive Day. And so I'm glad that this flag is flying here. And then my Dega Larry, he always has this out during this day. And then today's my birthday too, like that. And so I was kind of enjoyed it. I wanted to come over here, get to go over to my Dega Larry's all the time and kind of sit down and share that time with him. he'll sing, pray, eat, do all of those kind of things on behalf of Gustive. And I'm sure grateful to the family here for providing the meal and the good thoughts and feelings here this time. And I thought about all these things. When you see these Indian flags here, that's what my Dega, that's what he was talking about, his sacrifices. And so I hope it's just the way that he said it is, you know, that there's always a warrior. That our warrior way doesn't leave us. It's what holds us together, provides for us, you know, and that's what he was saying to me and my brother. I'm gonna worry about this. I want someone to take care of it. I don't want no empty seats in our lodge, he said. So here this morning, I applaud each of you here this morning like that, and wish you well here on behalf of our people here today, on behalf of our leadership, our all that we have, you know, like that, and really, like I was saying, I wanted to make a special thank you towards Boyd Ladd for sharing all the wonderful things he's sharing. And then I didn't really want to be coming out here and saying nothing either, so I was trying to kind of hide over there by my dad over there and just sit down, and then he came over, you know. So I want to say thank you to you. It's an honor and privilege to stand here and say something this time, you know, like that. And then we're taught around here that that honor and that privilege has to be earned, you know, like that. So I'm very grateful to you here this time. So I just want to say that much. Thank you for asking me to help you out here this morning a little bit.
Pinigigi. There was a purse that was found, and there's a lot of money in it. If you can tell me exactly how much you lost, George. Where's my buddy George? Yeah. Must be her purse is on there. But anyway, a purse has been turned in up here, so there is some money in it. In closing, many times our warriors are asked to share a story. Gray Wolf, I'm going to ask you to stand by with our closing song for this morning, and thank you song, appreciation song. But we always try to leave a message. As I was talking about Reuben, I think of a little bit of humor. At the time, it was not humorous, but many of us that went to Vietnam, fought in the jungles. There were Indian native people over there. They were called Montagnards. As a team leader, I would always try to avoid contact with them because, you know, they're trying to live, trying to survive. They planted corn and lived off the land. They still carried their bow and arrows, and I respected them as like our own people. I had a mission that was I had a mission in late May of 1971. It was a reconnaissance mission. I took my fellow members. There were 6 of us, and all ranger teams operate in 6-man teams. We went into an area, an AO, that very little intel was known to that area, but yet we knew there were base camps in that region. We went in, and the first day we didn't encounter or see anything, any fresh tracks, any trails. We started walking a blue line, a river. And we start following this trail back, or this river, this tributary back, and the blue line, and it came to a swamp area. Rangers as we are, you know, we always were careful punchy stakes and tripwires. As we went into the swamp, the water was chest high. Rangers, we held our weapons high. We continued for about a click and moving along in the water. As we moved, I could hear noise. Of course, sound travels through moisture, through water. I could hear some pounding, some noise, and I thought I heard some voices. I froze my team. They stood back and set up a perimeter. Again, we were still in chest-high water. I came to an edge of the swamp, and I started crawling up the side of the swamp, and I had my car 15, and I could hear something over the top. As I crawled to the top of that knoll, came over the edge, there was a lot of bamboo, elephant grass. As I crawled to that top, some perhaps have heard it as what they call Komodo dragon. People say they shoot fire. He must have been about 16 feet long. And he was probably curious of me. And we met each other. He was coming toward me, and I was going up the edge of that knoll. And for one split second, millisecond, we looked at each other. All I could see was the eyes, and that tongue shot out. It was a blaze orange. And perhaps through the years, they equated that with fire. As his tongue shot out at me, I flew back and fell back into the water. I went underwater for a minute. That Komodo dragon went the other way. Big bamboo trees were. And that's how powerful nature was. We did not only fight the enemy, but we fought nature. There were, in that water, there were a lot of leeches. Anybody that was in Vietnam, zillions of leeches, wood ticks, spiders, snakes. They had a lot of vipers. The enemy always tied vipers on the branches. And so again, that was a thing that I always recall. Today I can kind of chuckle thinking about that Komodo dragon. But at the time, he could have took my head off. It was that fast. But many of us as combat veterans, especially I can talk to many of my combat veterans from Vietnam. I was sharing stories. We were talking to that command sergeant major yesterday. For a lot of us that were in the enlisted ranks, you know, that's the highest rank there is. And to see and meet a command sergeant major, very seldom. And we certainly enjoyed a lot of stories, and he had the utmost respect for our native veterans in a good way. So again, I thank them on behalf of the Tribal Council and Winnebago Nation, the veterans, for those gentlemen for being here. And as they were saying, the gentlemen that all spoke, that we hope that you have learned something a little bit more about our culture and our way of life. In closing, I want to thank again Grey Wolf. Now I would like to ask all those that are still here, still listening, I'd like to ask you to come on out as we call upon Grey Wolf for our final song for this morning's portion of our Veterans Ceremony, our flag raising. And again, Pinigigi, you know, I appreciate what all was said, and it was certainly indeed a great honor to be back here again this year. So, if you will, Grey Wolf, I'd like to ask a special song for all those that are here and wishing them safe journey and a good day. Okay, what now we do? Again, we'd like to ask all the veterans, friends that are still here, I'd like to ask them to come on out and let us share our final morning, a 4-day celebration. So, and again, I appreciate Grey Wolf for doing honor. Everybody, we'd like to come on out. All Winnebago, Ochungara people, like to invite them to come on out. Pinigigi. I believe that concludes again this morning, our final morning of this year's celebration. And again, we want to thank Grey Wolf for those beautiful songs over the last 4 mornings, and certainly indeed a great honor. Again, there is some cigarettes available up here, tobacco. We want to take some home with you. Perhaps some of you can't afford a pack, come on over and take a few with you. So again, we want to thank the family of Gustive Smith, and some of you may want to come up and look at his proclamation and the uniform. So again, Grey Wolf, I believe that concludes everything. So whenever you wish to. Again, aho, pinigigi. I believe there is a church service, I think, that's going to be held shortly. Yeah, all right. Some of you up in the camping area might want to come down and participate in this church service. So we certainly do encourage you and welcome you to come down. All right. Aho, pinigigi. In behalf of the Ho-Chungatta people, we'd like to invite you next month, weekend before Labor Day. We're holding our annual Nishla Powwow in Wisconsin Dells. And again, so in behalf of the Ho-Chungatta, we certainly do invite you to come on up and celebrate with us as well. Aho, pinigig.